shivers up and down your spine, and particularly the way Renee Venezielli does her rendition. The officials for this game tonight, as assigned by the National Hockey League, Kerry Fraser is the referee. His first ever game in the Stanley Cup Finals. Ray Scampinello and John D'Amico, both a couple of seasoned veterans, are the two linesmen. Grant Fuhr again starts in goal for the Oilers. 14 previous games in the playoffs, 11 wins, 3 losses, and 3.28 goals against mark. And Kelly Lindbergh, 15 previous games this year in the playoffs, an even dozen wins, 3 losses, and a very stingy 2.17 goals against mark. Here we go, Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final Series. Philadelphia leading 1-0. And immediately, the puck to the Flyer line, and Brad Marsh, number 8, fires it into the Edmonton zone. And he fired it up too high and put it into the crowd, and after just 6 seconds, we have a stoppage of the faceoff out in the center ice area.
Well, as you watch the first few shifts of tonight's game, I think you'll be able to tell at least whether or not the Edmonton Oilers have got that zip back. Not much question that Dave Poulin is going to try and counteract that intensity by the Oilers, but they have to skate and do what they do best.
Puck is shot in. Brad Marsh back for Philadelphia. Trying to clear it on the boards. Brian Propp had it. Vogelin pinches in to hold it in. And Vogelin trying to force Marsh in against the boards, does, and forces a face-off in the Philadelphia zone. You know, these Flyers, Gary, with the newcomers, Zazel, or Zezel, I should say, and Smith, and so on down the line, 5 rookies in their lineup. It's kind of like, who are these guys in the white jerseys with the orange and black trim? People are starting to find out.
Well, they really are, and they have been the no-name Flyers for a big part of this year, even though this team did end up with the best record overall in the NHL standings after 80 games, so they have had a tremendous season. They aren't satisfied with it yet, though.
Here's Tim Kerr against Mark Messier in a face-off, won by Messier. Vogelin at the point, his pass intercepted by Dave Poulin. Poulin, number 20, trying to get through the defense. Vogelin and Lowe took him out, and Vogelin has the puck to Mark Messier. Messier firing it in. Philadelphia's Marsh back to get it. Lindbergh very wisely let that puck go. Let Marsh touch it, and it's icing against Edmonton.
Well, speaking of Brad Marsh, I think you'll see him out on the ice pretty much every single time Mark Messier is tonight. Coach Mike Keenan wants to control Messier's speed as well as his strength, and more so his strength than anything else. Brad Marsh, as we mentioned many times, is not fast-footed, but yet he can take the body and he can take it well. Marsh will no doubt see a lot of ice time because Glenn Sather is going to have to utilize his 2 top lines to get that speed back into their game.
Mike Keenan wants Marsh out there against Messier, and he wants the more mobile defensemen, Howe and Crossman, out there when he can against Gretzky and Curry. Here's Paul Coffey for Edmonton. Number 7, Coffey. Moving it in to Glenn Anderson, and there's Marsh with an excellent poke check. Now Messier knocks Marsh down. Hospodar comes over to get the puck and is able to clear it, and here's Tim Kerr to Brian Propp. Pass was behind him. Propp carries in anyway. Now it's Glenn Anderson for Edmonton, getting it to Charlie Huddy. He cleared it right onto Ron Sutter's stick. Held in by Philadelphia, and Fuhr has to come out of the net and clear it to Glenn Anderson. Anderson with a pass to Mike Krushelnyski. Hospodar knocked that down, and then he and Krushelnyski collide heavily. Don Jackson for Edmonton is there to clear it. The Oilers now on the attack. Here's Yeri Curry, number 17. Trying to center to Gretzky, but Mark Howe is there, flipping it on the boards. And here's Tikkanen, the newcomer, getting help from Gretzky. Philadelphia break it up and are able to clear the zone. Jackson takes a hit, dropping it back to Gregg. Now to Yeri Curry, who fires it in. And the Flyers' Howe going back to pick it up. Curry knocks it down, but Ron Sutter carries out. Lead pass to Derek Smith, number 24. He's ridden out in the corner by Gregg and then hammered down by Jackson on a very tough check. Now Smith gets up again, though, centered it. Flyers clear it away. Now it's Curry trying to get it ahead for Tikkanen, number 14. Here's the 19-year-old rookie Tikkanen. Crossman then clearing it away to Rick Tocchet. and Tocchet slides the puck down into the Edmonton zone.
Well, it may have been surprising when I had said at the start of the game that Tikkanen will make things happen out there. For a young player getting this opportunity, I think you'll see a lot of them.
Here are the Oilers. Big chance by McClellan and a big save by Lindbergh as McClellan walked in on the left side. And now it's Hunter for Edmonton, number 12. Got it behind the net. Crossman comes up with it for Philadelphia. Cleared to Fogelin. Knocked down and cleared over the glass by Joe Patterson. For our local system.
Well, the Philadelphia Flyers, as far as their game plan tonight was concerned, they weren't going to change anything. They want to forecheck. They said, we're going to try and forecheck the Sox right off the Edmonton Oilers tonight.
Right from the faceoff, the puck bounces over the glass and into the crowd. And we'll get a faceoff again in the Flyers zone. The Flyers right now with a forward line of Craven, Carson, and Bergen. Edmonton with their forward line of McClelland, Hunter, and Pat Hughes. Hughes, number 16, didn't play in game one, but he's in the lineup tonight. That's one of the changes that Glenn Sather has made. There's Peter Zezel, 20-year-old Flyer rookie from Scarborough, Ontario. Set a Flyer team record this year for assists by a rookie when he had 46. Faceoff is going to be outside the Philadelphia line. No score. Zezel will be tossed out of the faceoff. Joe Patterson will step in to take it. Now it's Zezel, Patterson, and Sinisalo, the Flyer line. Fogelin dumping it in for Edmonton. Hughes in to get it. He missed it. Now it's centered to McClellan by Pat Hughes. Philadelphia come up with the puck, and it's cleared by Zezel all the way down the ice. The Flyers will be called for icing, and we'll get a face-off back in the Philadelphia zone.
Yesterday at practice, when the Oilers were trying to analyze as to what went wrong and what they have to do better, well, obviously the word intensity came up. They have to skate, but they mentioned also the fact they have to shoot more. Mike Keenan and his Philadelphia Flyers really took the open ice away from them. The Edmonton Oilers like to play a passing game. Well, Wayne Gretzky was the first one to say, we may not be able to pass the puck as much as we'd like to do. We have to shoot, and I'm the first one that has to shoot because he did not get a shot on net, which is something rather amazing in game number one for Wayne Gretzky.
As far as scoring chances were concerned in that game, the Flyers had 17 scoring chances, and Edmonton had only 5. And that will usually tell you the outcome of the game. Here's Sinisalo getting the puck to center ice, but McClelland intercepts for Edmonton. Kevin McClelland's long shot off Brad Marsh's stick and up into the crowd here at the Spectrum.
Well, that was a pretty good example of what the Edmonton Oilers are trying to do, shoot from any place out there in the Flyers' end zone right now, but also a pretty good example of how closely the Philadelphia Flyers have been playing the Edmonton Oilers. A lot of deflected shots, and they're going to keep them away from Pelle Lindbergh by doing that.
Now the Flyers send out Poulin, Kerr, and Propp against Messier, Anderson, and Napier. Face-off won by Edmonton and dumped in. Going back to get it is Kerr, but that play was offside at the Philadelphia blue line. And this game off to a slow start. Paul Coffey, by the way, says he and the rest of the Oilers simply have to play better tonight.
Well, Coffey was mentioning about the fact of the ice, and he said that there's no excuses. Both of these teams have to play on this ice, but he said we have to adjust to it a little bit more so than the Flyers. I gave up the puck the other night, he said, on a pass to Jari Kurri, and that really cost us a very important goal. He said we just have to bear down on those passes on this type of ice.
Napier and Poulin fight for it. Now Kerr firing it in. Your handles that, and here is Paul Coffey. Over to Charlie Huddy. Headmanning it to Mark Messier, who dumps it in. The Oilers race in, center it. Marsh was there to clear it. And now Hospodar out to Tim Kerr. Kerr, number 12, to the Edmonton line, but checked, and Glenn Anderson comes right back for the Oilers. He's checked by Dave Poulin. Now it's Huddy getting it to center. Messier flipping it in. Lindbergh has lost his goal stick, and so he holds onto the puck. And meanwhile, back of the play, a penalty called against Edmonton by Kerry Fraser. I think against Paul Coffey. No score here. Over to Crossman. Rink wide, picked up by number 25, Zezel. Trying to feed it in, but it's intercepted by Gregg at the Edmonton line. And Howe has to go back for Philadelphia. Here's Crossman to Zezel. Shot in. Vogelin is there for Edmonton, and he played it off the boards right back to center. Crossman tries for the Flyers. Couldn't get it into the zone. It comes right back to Doug Crossman. Shot it in, and Kevin Lowe fires it right back out. 55 seconds now remaining in the Edmonton penalty. Here's Lowe breaking up a play at the blue line. And now Messier in center ice to Vogelin. He's upended on a check by Prop. And going back, Philadelphia controlling it as Hospodar, or Eriksson it is, to Howe. Ahead to Todd Bergen. Drop pass back. Shot is wide of the net by Brian Prop. Now Bergen behind the net, centered it. Lowe is there to intercept and clear it away. And it's Eriksson over to Howe. Now to Prop. In across the line to Todd Bergen. Shoot!